We learned today about creating change. And change being a force that's with us, whether we like it or not. For me to kind of set some context here, I'm going to share with you where I began. And so this is Anand Pallegar, circa 1986. A nerd, a dork. The glasses, the trainers, the tracksuit. And for me, science was a huge inspiration. And so to reflect on some of the speakers today, the scientists and the astrophysicists, I was inspired by both science, astronomy, and nature. And those were the things that really drove my formational years. At the age of 18, I ended up moving from England. As you heard, I was born not too far away from Tony Michaelides. And I ended up moving over to the US to continue my education. It was here that I landed actually in Michigan, in the state of Michigan, and I attended the University of Michigan and started my first company and my first entrepreneurial adventure from my dorm room. A year later, I ended up dropping out and pursuing that. And along the way, I faced many challenges. Many of the challenges all of you in this room have faced. You heard from our speakers as well, some of the challenges they had faced. Entrepreneurship is a lonely road, and the only constant is change and being adaptable to those changes. Well, nothing had really prepared me for the largest change I was going to experience in my life to date. At the age of 24, I was on my way to work one morning when I fell asleep at the wheel. And in the blink of an eye, my world came to a standstill. I ended up with 18 fractures in my face and significant upper body damage. I was a complete wreck. And when I came out of surgery, I had a lot of metal put into my face to try and hold it together. The other side effect was that when I got out, I couldn't see or speak properly. And so it was a huge transformational shift for me and a big change to who I was. I'd lost myself. And nobody ever really prepares you for that type of loss. I was completely broken. And so I retreated. I came down here to Florida. My parents live here. And I ended up here in Sarasota. And that's really for me where the opportunity began. Because it was meeting the likes of you, the people in this room, the inspirational speakers we've heard today, that inspired me to forge a new path and take a different direction on my life. And it was really, that is what Sarasota has meant to me. And so in the spirit of TED and creating connections, that's how we began today. We all ended up here in this room because of connections. And we've all made many more connections today through the card games, through hearing speakers. And that will continue on and foster on. And I thought long and hard about what are the connections that I can share with you through the course of today. I hope you've walked away feeling inspired, your thoughts have been lifted, and you walk out of this room wanting to share some of what you experienced. In closing, I want to leave you with this photo. And I was going to share something with you at a personal level, but the meaning of this photo has far more significance, and I only found out about the meaning of this afternoon. This is a photo by Clyde Butcher. It was one of the first photographs he took after his son had passed away, as you had heard earlier. What's unique about this is this was a transformational shift for Clyde, going from color photography to black and white photography. And to me, it meant a lot. When I first saw this photo, it was an inspiration for me to re-engage in photography. And to finally meet the person who actually took it and hear the true story has been an amazing journey for me. And that is my connection from TED. So whether you're an artist, an athlete, a scientist, an environmentalist, or a futurist, I want to invite you to think about the power of creativity and what it means to you as you leave today. Thank you all for experiencing TED. We've made history. This is our first TEDx in Sarasota, and there will be many more to follow. So I want to ask you all to give yourselves a round of applause for participating in today. And the speakers who are around the room.